Why is it that some people sometimes they say, "Oh, you've been disrespectful," because you are keeping it real with them. You're speaking your truth. Oh, watch your tone of voice. Oh, you be professional now. Why is it that I'm not being professional when I'm speaking truth and I'm speaking facts? You know what I'm saying? The truth hurts sometimes. I cannot sugarcoat the truth. We are not here to coddle anyone's feelings, especially if I'm being taken advantage of, disrespected, and all of that. Like, that's a real thing. That reminds me of how the police try to give people charges. How the police how the police try to say, calm down, calm down. It's like, I am calm. Like, you're resisting arrest. Like, I had a charge of resisting arrest, because once they start putting they hands on you, and they just pulling you over for a traffic ticket. Yes, I am resisting arrest, because why are you putting cuffs on me for me not having driver's insurance, or my plates are outdated or something? Like, yes, but that's how people will try to do to you. They act like you are wrong for stating how you feel. They try to take offense to your feelings. And that's called gaslighting. That's another form of gaslighting. Yeah, this week is about gaslighting. I don't even have my ring on today. I forgot my ring. Yeah, so because my supervisor, one day I was trying to tell her about this was a few months ago. I tried to tell her that the guy that used to work, he picked up the morning shift for one of my coworkers, went out of town, and the guy who picked up the shift, he didn't want to cook lunch for the people. So I said, I get here at 12, so there's no way for me to make lunch. The person that's here from 8 to 2 needs to be making lunch. She said, well, um, are you not gonna feed them? I'm like, I put a pizza in the oven, but why he couldn't put the pizza in the oven? She just did not address my concerns. That I said, the client shouldn't have been asking me what's for lunch when I'm walking through the door at 12 o'clock, when it's somebody here was here earlier than me. So, and I said, the other guy that work here any other time on the morning shift, he always have lunch ready at 12 o'clock. So why is it that this person want to pick up the morning shift and not have lunch ready when I get through the door? So I don't want the clients harassing me, talking about where is lunch at. And I'm like, and he's just over here doing nothing. But she tried to say, be professional now. I'm like, I'm being professional. I'm stating facts is what I'm doing. So why is it that somebody is experiencing this right now? You could be stating facts. You're keeping your composure, you're keeping your cool and everything, but somehow, some way, people are offended by you speaking up for yourself, voicing your opinion, and you not being ignorant or disrespectful or anything like that. You're not coming off the wrong way or anything. They want to not address your concerns. They want to ignore your feelings and try to turn it into maybe manipulating the narrative to make it seem like you crazy, you wrong, and that you shouldn't feel comfortable speaking your opinion. Because sometimes in workplaces they do have favoritism, and in families they have favoritism, and they could just ignore your concerns because they're going to take the side of the one that they love, the one that they like, and that's not right. I speak for what's right. See, that's the thing. People love to play favoritism, like to pick and choose who they want to hold to this standard and who don't have to be held to this standard. And so that's where they messed up at. That's where they wrong at. So I knew that, like, certain things, people let certain employees get away with certain things and back them up even if they wrong, and when you call them out on it, they just overlook it. And then that goes on in family relationship dynamics as well, where it's like, I'm calling out this situation because this is affecting me, because there's no way, if I'm scheduled from 12 to 8, I should not have to make lunch at 12, and that's never been a thing. So why has it become a thing because this person picked up a morning shift? Now I'm responsible for this. And then when I speak on it, I'm being unprofessional because she's telling me stuff about, well, my kids wait for me to get home to cook for them, and because they like my cooking better. What does that have to do with the cost of tea in China? That has nothing to do with work. I'm gonna need you to not gaslight me. And my supervisor, she used to gaslight me a whole lot when I first started working at this company. And so she's been kind of, she still do it low key, but I had to let her know, I that's nothing to do with me. Like, I'm gonna need you still be, you not being professional, telling me, bringing up stuff about what you do at home. It has nothing to do with at work. What people do at home is completely totally different than what we get paid to do at work. Like, that guy who was not doing his job, he ended up getting fired because he was coming to work and sleeping on the futon over here. He was sleeping on the futon. He was sleeping on the futon. He was sleeping on the futon at work, and she told me, take a picture. She told me take a picture of him, and I'm like, somebody, I made a video about this. Somebody said I shouldn't have to do that. No, I shouldn't have to do that. But the fact remains is that he was just doing a whole lot that was unacceptable in my book. Like, that's just disrespect one-on-one, because I'm not your friend at the end of the day. I'm here to work just like you, but if you have to at least keep your eyes open. If you that tired, you need to go drink some coffee, go get a Red Bull or something. Because first of all, you don't want to do your job. Then on top of that, you want to leave me to do everything. And that's unacceptable. That's not gonna happen. That's a deal breaker. Yes, so this video is for somebody that is another form of gaslighting. When a person, so that is another form of that is another form of gaslighting, when you are not being disrespectful, you're not being confrontational, but they want to twist your words and make it as if you are being disrespectful or you are being inappropriate. And it's like how the police try to do people, black people, all the time. you know, they are, using unnecessary restraints on you when you are calm and cool as a cucumber. Like, they using excessive force on you when you were just like, well, what am I being arrested for? What are you locking me up for? Like, what? Like, why are y'all trying to, like, I thought this was because I was speeding. Like, how did it go from a speeding ticket to now I'm being put in the back of a police car? But they don't even want to tell you what's going on, you know. Anyway, I just wanted to put this little video out there real quick, because I experienced that in the past, where I don't know, something just sparked this idea in my mind. I forgot what it was, but it's a real thing when people try to make it seem like you crazy or you wrong or you're not being respectful. Because I made that video a short that said, if a person is gaslighting you, just tell them, you can tell them nicely, please, please, please do not gaslight me. And we being straight to the point with these people. Please do not gaslight me. We being straight to the point. If a person want to get offended by you saying, can you please not gaslight me? They're going to be like, I'm not gaslighting you. I feel like you're gaslighting me, because I feel like you're not addressing my concern or my issues. I feel like you are turning this back on me and not addressing the problem, addressing the issue. You're making this my problem now. You're insinuating that I'm just making this up for some random reason and that my feelings are not valid. Gaslighting. That's gaslighting one-on-one. Anytime you have a serious issue, a serious concern, and somebody wants to counteract that your serious concern with nonsense and foolishness and BS, that's gaslighting. Because I could say the same exact thing to somebody who has high emotional intelligence, and they're not going to gaslight me. They're going to respond to me like a sane human being. A sane human being response. They're going to address my issue. Okay, well, if since he was here earlier, he is responsible for making lunch. And she could have said, you are responsible for making lunch. She's not responsible for making lunch. End of story. Now, but she didn't want to do that because she wanted to show favoritism over me to him and exert her authority over me as a control mechanism, to show that I'm not supposed to speak up even if it's something that's affecting me. She's going to go against that. She's trying to be defiant and say that, well, If how many kids do you have? If your kids, she's like, if your daughter didn't feed your other daughter when she was at home, what would you do? I'm like, you don't even make any sense, because you just said exactly what I'm saying. If my daughter is babysitting my other daughter, and you're waiting for me to come there to cook and feed my youngest daughter, then I would be upset at my oldest daughter if she's gonna say, well, I was waiting for you to get here. So like, you don't even make any sense. You don't even make any sense by using that for an example. But that's what I had to deal with, and that's the kind of people that I have faced and encountered in my life. And it's annoying, but now that I'm growing and evolving, I'm just gonna start calling people out on they bullshit. Excuse my language. I'm just gonna start calling people out on their BS, and I advise you all to call them out too, because I'm not gonna play your little games. Don't try to. Just know that if I have to speak on something, it's because it's a problem for me. And if you do not care about how I feel when I'm a good employee, and you don't care how I feel if I'm a good woman or a good friend, you don't want to address my concerns, and you want to gaslight me and act like I don't know what I'm talking about, then we're going to have to go. We might have to explore other options. So you want to play these little games with me, or what do I need to do? Do I need to find another job because you all don't take me seriously? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Like, I could tell you the errors of your ways, because I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're my manager, my supervisor, my friend, my mother, my brother, my cousin, my niece, my daughters. I don't care. If I have a concern and you just want to brush me off like I don't know what I'm talking about, well, what about if I had the same energy when you want to come to me, and I just brush you off like I don't know what you're talking about? I don't do that. So don't do that to me. Respect goes both ways. Respect is a two-way street. I don't give you respect just because you my supervisor, or you my manager, or you my daughter, or you my mother. No, I'm not. I don't just give anybody respect. If they have to earn respect from me, you have to earn your respect from me, because I give people the respect and credit where credit is due, but I don't have no problem speaking up for myself too at the same time if something is bothering me or affecting me, and I am doing stuff that I'm not responsible for, then I have the right to speak up on that. Now, if you want to gaslight me and act like you don't know what I'm talking about, then that's a problem. Now we got another problem. We got this problem over here where this person didn't want to make lunch, and now I got the problem with you not even wanting to address this person for not doing their job. So we got two problems now. I'm gonna need you to take do your job as a supervisor or a manager to take care of your employees. I'm not no supervisor. If I was the supervisor, I was the boss, then I would let these people know, don't do this and don't do that. And if you do it again, I'm going to fire your butt. Don't do this and don't do that. I'm not going to play with you. You know what you came to do. You know you're supposed to be here on time. You know you're not supposed to be sleeping. None of that. Not supposed to be smoking in the house and playing video games or whatever. If you keep on doing it, then you got to go. But some people don't. He knew I was not no supervisor, no manager, so he did this in front of me because he knew I couldn't fire him. And then it made it even worse when I went to the supervisor and he was sitting right there, and she didn't enforce the rules. But as we see today, he's gone. But anyway, to make a long story short, that is one way that people will gaslight you, by trying to act like you are being irate, or you are off the mark, or you being disrespectful, you're being unprofessional, when you are just stating facts. You are just being matter of fact, straight to the point. You're not sugarcoating anything. Sometimes the truth cannot be sugarcoated. We can't not cover the truth, or we cannot, try to dress up stuff and try to make it just for, what I'm saying. But there's a way to get your point across, and I'm gonna get my point across like this. I see you trying to gaslight me, and I I would advise you not to do that. Look, I really don't like when people gaslight me. I really don't like when people gaslight me. That reminds me of being abused as a child, and make me feel like you don't want to hear my voice. My voice is not being heard. That's really what it feels like. It feels like I'm being re-traumatized when somebody gaslights me. That's confirmation. When somebody gaslights you, it really does triggers something in you. Because if you've been abused on several occasions, and now you're at a point where you speaking up for yourself, and if a person does not listen to you, it's like it triggers something in you. That's why this narcissism topic is so popular, because it does trigger something in us that it reminds us of not being able to speak up for ourselves and not being taken seriously by our parents and, you know, ex-boyfriends and ex-girlfriends in the past. With somebody, if you have an issue like my apartment, I told them that my heat was off. They still never fixed my heat. And they brought over a space heater. They still didn't fix my heat. But I'm not going to beat a dead horse. What I'm going to do is, I did not pay my rent. And if they want to put me out, then I'll just move somewhere else, because I'm not finna play with y'all. I'm not finna keep on harassing y'all when y'all clearly don't want to fix my heat. For whatever reason, I don't know, that maybe it's a sign that it's time for me to move. It's definitely a sign that I need to move, but I didn't want to have to be forced to move under such short notice. But I'm just not gonna complain anymore. I'm not gonna complain. I'm just not gonna pay you. I'm just not gonna pay you until I get ready to. And if you want to put me out before then I'll have to explore other options. So we're not gonna waste our time going back and forth with people. That's what we're not gonna do. So I could rack my brain and keep on calling and all of that, but I just didn't pay them. I just didn't pay them. That's what I'm gonna do. And when the lease is about to be renewed, I'm not gonna renew it. And that's just that on that. Anyway, you may just have to be clear. Don't get defensive. If you have a serious concern about something at work or in a friendship or relationship or whatever, you just say what you are willing to do, and just do that. Do not go out of your way to do something that is not you're not responsible for. I practice teamwork. I will work. I'll work a shift for somebody who, if they need to get off for a certain time or whatever. I might need somebody to do that for me. But if you are just blatantly just not doing your job, and you making me I'm affected from that, then I have to speak up on that. And yeah, point blank, period. So, and don't try to gaslight me like my manager tried to gaslight me the other day. My coworker was off work all last week because she had to finish some training. So I worked for her from I worked her shift 2 to 10 last week, all week. So this week, Monday, I wasn't sure if she was going to be here. So I called my job earlier and I said, do I need to come in at 12 or come in at 2? They said, come in at 12. So they assumed that my coworker was going to be here at 2, because I get off at 8 o'clock and she gets off at 10. So I wanted to make sure she was going to be here at 2, so I was able to get off at 8. So because if nobody comes at 2, then I would have to stay till 10. So they act like they knew she was going to be here at 2. She did not know she was on the schedule, and she did not even finish her training before they told me just be here at 12. So I was like, I called her. I texted her. I said, are you are you scheduled? I called her at 2:30. I said, are you scheduled to work today? She said no. I'm like, well, why did they tell me to come in at 12 if they didn't even know you was going to be here at 2? So I had to text the manager and let him know that she didn't come at 2 o'clock. He said, oh, she didn't show up? I say no. So he texted the supervisor, and the supervisor accidentally bumped into her at the main office during the training. And she said, and he texted me back and said she's on her way. But I told him the next day, I said, that's not my job. That's not my responsibility to make sure somebody's here at 2, from 2 to 10. And that's not the first time that I had to do that. I'm not no supervisor. I'm not no manager. Just like you made sure that I was here at 12 o'clock today, you should have made sure that somebody was going to be here for sure at 2 o'clock, because she said she didn't even know she was on the schedule, because the lady had told her she can't come back to work until she finished her training. And she just so happened to finish it Monday, on the day that they told me to be here at 12, when they didn't even know she was going to be here at 2. But anyway, I said I got into a little disagreement with my manager, because he tried to say, that's not my responsibility. That's not my responsibility to make sure somebody's here at 2 o'clock. how is that not your responsibility when you are the person that's head of this situation? You are the one in charge. How is that not part of your responsibility when you are the one in charge of the next person in line to make sure that that we have? How is that not part of your job description when you are the second one in line to make sure that there is staff available for each shift? How is that not your responsibility? Yeah, but that's annoying that people love to drop the ball and then act like they're not responsible for dropping the ball. Just say you dropped the ball. Just acknowledge what you did, you know what I'm saying? Because now you gaslighting me. You gaslighting me and acting like that's not your responsibility. I said, well, it damn sure is not my responsibility to make sure somebody's here at 2, but it's not my responsibility. But literally, I was the one responsible because I had to call her to make sure that she knew that she could, to make sure that y'all did y'all due diligence to make sure y'all did y'all job. So why am I the one? Because the only reason why I had to do that because I was scheduled to get off at 8 o'clock versus 10 o'clock. So if she didn't come and she didn't know nothing about coming to work, then I would have had to stay to 10. So that's the only reason why I have to reach out. But they don't care. And if I leave at 8, then I'll be in trouble. So that's what I'm talking about when people gaslighting, because they want to drop the ball and then want to not take responsibility for their actions and try to say, well, that's not my responsibility to make sure. It's your responsibility to make sure that there's staff available. It's definitely not my responsibility because I'm not nobody's manager. I'm not no supervisor. So, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, remember to always keep the most out first. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Stay blessed and be safe this weekend. Much love and light. Peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum. See you next time. Bye.